section 3. This is more like a summary type of question with no more than 3 words. You can also call it a short answer. Alright, so here, stimulating music speeds up or, alright, the instruction is no more than 3 words again, so you have to be careful about that. So it says stimulating music, alright, stimulating music speeds up our what? There is something they're going to talk about. It speeds up our dash. All right, calming music reduces our dash. So this is important. Calming music reduces. All right, and dash music. So there has to be something with predictable rhythms. All right, it says here. So this is important. Dash music type. So there is a type of music we are looking for. Research may show if people of different dash perceive music differently. All right, people of different dashes, people of different what. So we are going to, these are the key words which we have to listen to. For these words we have to listen carefully. All right, so let's have a look.
As you listen to the discussion, complete the sentences.
For the purposes of this discussion, I'm going to divide music roughly into 2 types: music which stimulates us and music which calms us. It seems that music which stimulates us gives rise to actual changes in our bodies. We listen to exciting music and our hearts beat faster, our blood pressure rises, and our blood flows more quickly. In short, we're stimulated. Soothing music, however, has the opposite effect. We relax and let the world go by. Our heart beats more gently, our blood pressure drops, and we feel calm. Alexandra, can you think of things which help us to relax?
Gentle rhythms?
Yes, in part. The melodies which help us to relax are smooth-flowing and often have repeated rhythms. These rhythms are constant and dynamic, a little like the crash of the sea on the beach. Their very predictability is sedating, relaxing. By contrast, very loud, discordant music with unpredictable rhythms and structures excites and stimulates us. These 2 generalizations about the differences between music which stimulates and music which soothes are true as far as they go, but they are far from conclusive. We still have a lot of research to do to find out what, for instance, people of different cultures hear and feel when they listen to music. This department is taking part in a continuing study on the influence of culture on musical perception, and we'll talk about that more next week.
Okay guys, as you listen, because this is section 3, so the conversation is between 2 to 3 people and it's an academic kind of situation. So this is rather a lecture, right? And it is a bit difficult in the beginning to understand, but as you practice it would be easier for you to understand. Just keep in mind that you have to underline the keywords. For example, here the keywords were stimulating music, and they were talking about speeds up our what? Speeds up, it says speeds up our heartbeat. All right, so the answer was heartbeat. All right, so you have to write heartbeat, and you cannot write only beat or heart, or like, you have to write heartbeat. So this is the answer. Now the calming music reduces our, they said, blood pressure. All right, so the blood pressure, and they're repeatedly talking about that. So during the conversation you can always guess what are they talking about repeatedly. So 2-3 times they are talking about it. And the third question was dash music has very predictable rhythm. Dash music, so there was what? A calming or relaxing music. So you can write calming music or relaxing music, because this is the type of music they're discussing: calming music and stimulating music. So calming music has very predictable rhythms. Now research may show if people of different cultures, of course he said cultures, and 2 times he talked about the cultures, all right, the cultural thing, right? Research may show that people of different cultures perceive music differently. So that's how it goes. All right, so it needs practice. All right, 1 2 3 4 5, as many times as you can. Just practice, listen and practice. Not the same test, but different tests all the time, so it would be easier for you. All right, now let's have a look at section 4. Let's see what it is about. Okay guys, this is again section 3, and in section 3 we have another type of question which is called labeling the diagram or labeling the map or something, in which you have to find out through this map what are the different sections called. Alright, so it says listen to the directions and match the places in questions. This is also called a matching question. Listen to the directions and match the places in questions 33 to 36 to the appropriate letter A to H on the plan. Alright, so it says reception area. It says here, alright, it says here reception area and admissions. Alright, fee office, book and stationery supply, and travel agency. Alright, when we are doing these kinds of questions in which we have to go through a map particularly, and we have to always go to the entrance first. Alright, this is the entrance, so we are going to be here. Alright, we are going to be here. So you can, what you can do is that you can put your finger here or your pencil here and then start traveling. Wherever she will take you, you have to go like that. So let's see what she is talking about.
I'm sorry, VJ. What were you saying?
I wanted to know what else I had to do.
Oh, of course. Please go to the building on the other side of Smith Street. I want you to go to the reception area first. It's just inside the door on the left as you enter from Smith Street. Give them this form.
Okay. Do I pay my fees there?
No, but the fees office is in the same building. Go past the escalators and you'll see a games shop. It's in the corner. The fees office is between the games shop and the toilets.
Thanks. Where can I buy books?
The bookshop is opposite the lifts. It's right next to the entrance from Robert Street.
Your offices are spread out.
Not as badly as they used to be. By the way, we offer very competitive overseas travel rates to our students.
Oh, I'd like to look into that.
Of course. The travel agency is at the Smith Street end of the building, in the corner next to the insurance office.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Alright guys, as you listen to that, you listen to this lady. She was talking about, first she said about the reception area, admissions. Alright, so the reception area was from Smith Street's entrance and on the left hand side. So A was the reception area. Here we have A. Then she talked about the fees office. Alright, so fees office was D, of course, which was, she said, between the games shop and the toilets. Alright, so D was that area. Then she talked about the book and stationery supplies. It was F, of course. She said opposite to the lifts. It is F here, and this is the Robert Street entrance. She talked about that too. Then in the end she talked about the travel agency, which is G, next to the insurance office. So you have to keep the directions in mind wherever she's taking you, so you go like that. It is easier then. Alright, so this is another type of question. Let's have another question. Alright guys, this is section 4, and in section 4 one thing is important, that in this section 4 you're not going to have a break in between the questions sets. Alright, there are going to be like 10 questions, so 10 or 8 questions, whatever the number is. So you have to have a good look on all the questions at the same time. All right, in section 4 you're going to listen to a monologue again. One person will talk and he will or she will deliver a speech about something or briefing about something. So it is important. Sometimes there are multiple choice questions in this section, and sometimes there are summary completion questions. So question types differ, but it's going to be a monologue. All right, and this time we are looking at the multiple choice questions for this particular example. All right, let's have a look. Circle the appropriate letter A to D. Let's underline, most postgraduate students are studying what? There are courses, all right, courses. Okay, and two postgraduate students are advised to. Students are advised to. This is the key word. So these are the keys. These are the answers. Speaker says that where you study. Speaker says where you study. All right, something about the studies. When we have choosing an institution, should be mainly based on what? All right, these facilities are the most important to the speaker. These facilities, the most important. All right, postgraduates can avoid feeling alone by. All right, avoid feeling alone by. All right, by these options. Let's listen to the conversation, and then we can decide. But always remember that whenever you're writing, whenever you're giving answers to this section 4 of your listening test, and especially the multiple choice questions, you have to take your time to decide, because there's going to be many things. There's going to be many parts of the conversation which are not related with your questions. All right, they are related to the questions, but they are not actually your requirement, your required conversation. You have to take out your required part, and these keywords questions will help you. So when you're listening, you have to look at these keywords and also these multiple choice questions, but listen first. What are they talking about? Let's have a look.
Postgraduates are about as easy to define as catching steam in a bucket. Courses can be vocational, for training, as research, as a preparation for research, or a combination of these. Also, you can choose between full-time and part-time. Increasingly, the approach to postgraduate study is becoming modular. The vast majority of postgraduates are doing short, taught courses, many of which provide specific vocational training. Indeed, there has been a 400% increase in postgraduate numbers in Britain over the past 20 years. Current figures stand at just under 400,000. People undertake postgraduate study for many reasons. These may be academic, intellectual challenge, development of knowledge; vocational, training for a specific career goal; or only vague, drifting into further study. It is essential that you determine the reasons you want to become a postgraduate. If you have clear goals and reasons for studying, this will enhance your learning experience and help you to remain focused and motivated throughout your course. Where you study should be based on much more than the course you want to do. For some courses, you're likely to be there for several years, and it is important that you are happy living there. Check also what type of accommodation is available, and whether the institution provides any housing specifically for postgraduates. Choosing an institution and department is a difficult process. To determine quality, do not rely on the reputation of an institution, but find out what the ratings are from the most recent assessment exercises. Find out about the staff, their reputation, competence, enthusiasm, and friendliness. Visit the department if possible, and talk to existing postgraduates about their experience, satisfaction, comments and complaints. Be very careful to check how they feel about their supervisors. Also, check what facilities are available, both at an institutional level, for example libraries, laboratory and computing facilities, and in the department, for example, study room, desk, photocopying, secretarial support, etc. Everyone will have their own priorities here. I am always anxious to check the computer support available and regard it as slightly more important than library access. Your working environment and the support available to you plays an essential part in making your work as a postgraduate a positive experience. Life as a postgraduate can be very different to your other experiences of education. Things that can distinguish your experience are the level of study, independence of working, intensity of the course, the demands on your time, and often the fact that you're older than the majority of students. These factors can contribute to making you feel isolated. However, there are several ways you can make sure that this is either short-lived or does not happen at all. Many student unions have postgraduate societies that organise social events and may also provide representation for postgraduates to both the student union and the institution. Departments can also help to create a sense of identity and community, and often have discussion groups available. Don't be afraid to talk to staff about any difficulties you might be having. Of course, universities provide counselling services, but we have found that the best advice comes from talking to other postgraduates who may have faced similar difficulties. Postgraduates are about as easy to define as catching steam in a bucket. Courses can be vocational, for training,
Alright guys, so as you listen to this conversation, you might have thought that this is a bit difficult conversation, but believe me, if your markers are good, these underlined keywords are good, they always tell you where the conversation is. You cannot lose it. Alright, even if you lose your conversation, you distract somewhere, always look for the keywords. Alright, keywords are very important when you're doing this section 4 and all other sections, but in section 4, because the conversation starts and then it finishes, and it is a long speech, all right, it's a long monologue sort of thing, so it's very important that you must concentrate on the words of the speaker, and at the same time your eyes should be on evaluating these A, B, C, D options, and the keyword here in the question is very important. All right, so 32 was most postgraduate students are studying, he says, the courses that feature vocational training. So this was the option which was correct. All right, we can also check that. All right, here we can check it. A is the correct answer. Then we have the postgraduate students are advised to, he says advised to. All right, so we must go for whatever he is emphasizing on. Be sure to have a definite goal in your life whenever you're reading it. That's what he said. Let's check. C is the correct answer. Then the speaker says that where you study, it depends. It's important for you to find out. It must be somewhere you like. It must be somewhere of your particular interest. Let's see. B is the correct answer. Then he talked about choosing an institution should be mainly based on. He talked about all the options. The worst, the bad, the thing which is not good about multiple choices are that you hear all of the choices, all of the A, B, C, D. So if A, B, C, D, everything which is in this multiple choice question, you can hear all of the choices there, but you have to decide about which is the correct answer. What is your keyword? Choosing an institution should be mainly based on the quality of supervision you receive. All right, so it is D. Then 36 is these facilities are the most important to the speaker. The most important to the speaker. So he said mainly, but what I think is computer facilities the most important. That's what he said. So B is the correct answer. And last but not least, postgraduate can avoid feeling alone by, he said, isolated because sometimes you're not hearing the exact words, right? It's written here, this word is alone, but he used the word in the conversation, in his speech, it was isolated. All right, so he said if you're feeling isolated, you should be like joining an association of other older students. So A was the correct answer. So this is it, guys. This is section 4. So I hope you have some idea. In my other discussions, in my other videos in future, I will be telling you more techniques, and we'll be looking into it more deeply. So that's all with the listening section, listening exam. Thank you. Okay guys, that's all for today, I guess. Now in my next video we are going to talk about IELTS reading section, and I will give you some more tips and tricks on how to score better in the reading section. So keep watching, and please subscribe and share for free e-learning. Thank you.